Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening to you, and you are welcome to the Wise Builders and my godly spouse tonight. I am Reverend Dolly, and beside me is Reverend Tony.
Hello, everyone.
I. Good to see you all. And apologies, we couldn't come live last Wednesday. It was a bit cold. It's still cold actually tonight.
It's even colder
It's
today.
colder tonight than last week. It's colder tonight, to be honest with you. But we thank God, and I'm happy. Thank you for everyone that reached out to us. And I read all the comments and I responded. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. For the sake of those that are joining us for the first time, this is the Wise Builders, and we come online just to advise, to kind of fellowship with our friends
Yeah.
basically, and talk about relationship generally, advice, and then seek opinion and rub minds as well. And on this platform, nobody has the answer to it all. We all rub minds. We try to um, gain or glean from each other's knowledge, and then we share it, our expertise, and people benefit from it. So thank you so much to all our friends that have been with us for the past couple of years, actually. So thank you. And for all our friends, returnees, regulars, oh, thank you for being there for us. We appreciate you. We love you so much. Without you, there's no Wise Builders.
Yeah.
Now, tonight, I don't know actually. We were thinking and we are talking since morning, and we're like, oh, we're talking about tonight. And some of the comments that some of you wrote kind of prompted this: when you fall in love.
Love.
So the topic tonight is when you fall in love.
Mm.
Hi to our friends on Instagram and YouTube. It's still us, Reverend Tony and Reverend Tolly, or rather Tolly and Tony, however you feel comfortable to call us. But we're your friends and we're here. Right. So when you fall in love, what is love? Ah, everybody has several meanings to what love is. I was speaking to a lady this evening, far away in USA, and we're talking, and she said something about some African men. The only thing they know about love is sex. I love you as long as we have good sex, then we're in love. No sex, no
No
love.
love.
And you know what? We're actually talking, and we're talking about even, and but you would know that professionally, and I think you share something like that with me. People. Okay, there's comments. Um, right. Good evening, ma. Good evening, Sister Turayo Ajari. Bless you, ma. Good to see you. God bless you, ma. So, you were talking about. She mentioned something like that, and I said, "Oh, Reverend Tony, I think has experience in that work wise. When
Mm.
people are to maybe you see some people towards the end of their life
Yeah.
or sick bed, or they have a bad diagnosis,
Mm.
life threatening diagnosis,
No.
and then they're getting married. There, somebody is showing love.
Yeah.
African man will run away, or woman will run away.
Certainly.
End
Certainly.
of life, and you say you come and marry me to
Mm.
end of life person. They say
Getting married
eh,
on deathbed.
on deathbed. Say this one. Except that person is rich and has some money. When you
Uh,
see an African person doing that, go and check the man or woman's bank account.
there's a hidden
There's
agenda.
hidden agenda. There's some money to be made. It's okay. Don't worry, I love you. As long as I know you only got 3 more
I
years.
love you,
I
Torito.
love you. And after that, they disappear. Oh my mind. I don't know what's wrong with us. Is it our orientation or our culture? Because biblically it's not like that. So how are we different? Because Bible talks much about love, but how are we different? So, tonight I'm going to give Reverend time to talk. We're talking about when you fall in love. It's deep. it's really, really deep. But this evening, and maybe what myself and that woman spoke about kind of inspired me more. And she was saying it. We're talking about how spouses can be dependable. And
Mm.
she was saying that, oh, most of the people they see are not dependable.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you want to say anything
Yeah, you're
before I
quite
go.
right. When you fall in love with someone,
Hmm.
there's always a reason anyway. There's always a purpose anyway. When you are alone and you are thinking of falling in love one day, so there must be something. I mean, there must be something you are looking for in who you want to fall in love with. And if you decide to fall in love with someone, there must be an expectation. That's what sometimes the expectation is expressed. Sometimes you expect the person you fall in love with to know what you expect. But I think falling in love, as far as I am concerned, there's always a reason.
Should there
Yeah,
be a reason to fall in love?
of course, yes.
For example,
For example, I want to fall in love. I wanted to, and I succeeded in falling in love with someone that is tall, beautiful,
mm,
yeah, a career woman, someone that can go extra mile for me.
mm,
Oh yeah,
mm.
that was my agenda,
So if you
and
have
I
not
found one.
seen, if you have not seen somebody that will do that,
I will not fall in love.
oh,
Yeah, that's me.
so
Everybody
very
has
interesting.
their individual priorities. Oh yes,
So love is not, people say love at first sight. Love, Cupid arrow just strikes your heart, and you see this person. Is it that you must have that imagination? Because what about love at first sight? They see themselves, and they're just like, bam,
it's not love yet.
that's attraction.
Research has shown that it takes a woman
Okay.
160 days to fall in love. It takes a man only 60, 80 days to fall in love. For a woman that has waited 180 days to fall in love, what do you think is working in her head? What do you think she's looking for?
Oh.
Why did she not fall in love that same day? I'm talking of real love. I'm talking of love now that is intended to develop into marriage or a lasting relationship. I'm not talking about love at first sight. A love that is intended to last.
Mm.
There must be something you are looking for in the person
Okay.
you want to love.
Let's take
So
this
I asked
comment.
you that question.
Hmm.
How long does it take a woman to fall in love? Is it that same day? Is it 1 month? Is it 1 year? Is it
To be honest,
yeah,
I wouldn't. I've never thought of days, but from
yeah,
what you said,
mm,
if I look at it, a woman will fall in, like you said, maybe for men as well. Maybe a woman has certain expectation, but I'm beginning to agree with you that what you see is what you go for. Maybe the woman, like this lady that I was speaking to, that I far away in America, she told me about some people, and that even speaking to them, you're just like nah, 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 nah,
exactly.
because you need somebody that. So maybe for me, okay, thank you, my reverend. Okay, I'm going to flash that. So for me, I feel everybody knows and has expectation what they want.
Yeah,
It could be peace, it could be a godly woman or a
exactly,
godly man,
exactly,
somebody that gives you stability, a career person that will not be a burden.
exactly.
But how long it takes, I never kind of measured it, how long it took to
Yeah,
fall in love with some person. But I know over the time, even you find out that somebody that you say you cannot marry, and first sight, you know, be like, "Ah, nah, 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 she's too tall, or she's too short for me,
mm,
or she's white, or she's black. Nah, I
mm,
can't do this."
mm,
But you find out that over the time,
yeah,
you just start gravitating towards that person.
yeah. That is, you are trying to develop the love.
Mm.
Is that what you're trying to say?
You're trying to even process whether you really love this person.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
But
That
to
you
establish
don't
how
love
long,
first day. No, it
no.
depends on individual.
But some people say they love at first sight. They see themselves, they love
But
themselves.
that's not love because you don't know this person. You can't love someone you
let's
don't
let's
know.
take these two comments. There are comments here. The first one is Suraya Jadi, she said, love is when you can sacrifice some things for another person,
Mm-hmm.
go extra mile,
Mm-hmm.
and managing ourselves, our behavior,
Mm-hmm.
our differences,
Mm-hmm.
able to defend ourselves anywhere, anytime. That's
Fantastic.
deep, true.
Yeah.
So there are things that going extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the one about managing ourselves, being independent and controlling yourself, our behavior, so that it doesn't affect the other party, especially our differences. Because whether you like it or not, love at first sight, love at second sight, third sight, you are bound to have differences. It's not the same mother that's giving back to you. And even twins from the same womb, they have different character, different wisdom. So the ability to manage your differences and able to defend and stand for each other anywhere, anytime.
Now, I was joking when I said I was looking for someone that is tall.
Mm.
This is real. From what Sister Motunaya said, love is when you can sacrifice for things for another person, go extra mile and managing ourselves and things like that. That's her own.
Yeah, but
So
that is after the love has established.
no. When I ask the question, how long does it take to fall in love? These are the things that are working in the mind of the woman. For example, does this person I want to fall in love with, can he go extra mile for me? Can we manage ourselves?
Is it dependable?
Is it dependable?
Reliable?
Yeah. Now it depends on how long it takes to be able to know whether these things are in the other person.
Yeah, because a woman, for example, before I take Reverend's comment, a woman, for example, needs a man. Woman always wants security. What a man wants is different from what a woman wants. I want to be sure that this person will take care of me, will be a father, will be a brother, and will be reliable.
Yeah.
So we think of our security, So when a man comes to say, I want to marry you, the woman, that's why some woman will look and say, hey, he doesn't even have coats, he doesn't have shoes. This one that doesn't have a house, this one that does not have a room, he doesn't have job. This one, it's the first thing that comes to a woman's brain is security. Where is it taking me to? Where are we going to live? You are living in one room. You don't even have job. You don't have status. You don't have everything. Then the woman will run away.
What does he or she have to contribute to my life? What is he or she
the
bringing
value they are bringing to
Sometimes it takes time to be able to.
Don't you think that's selfish and that's not love? That's condition then.
No, it's not condition.
Let me take this other comments.
We may throw it open.
Yeah, please, guys. What do you think? I think that's conditional.
Yeah.
Let's Reverend Ronke Onokoya says it's good to choose how to fall in love carefully.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very good to choose. How you can't just fall. That's why I feel this love that we are talking about now is conditional.
Exactly. Take it or leave it.
But conditional love is not good, because if you're saying you set up your mind that, okay, I know you're joking about this topic. You wanted somebody reliable, professional that will take care of you, that will go extra mile for you, blah blah blah. So you had a concept in your mind.
Exactly.
It's so you're looking, because this is the basic of one of the things we are saying. You're looking for that person, and until you find that person, you are not even allowing yourself to love.
Maybe you don't get what I'm trying to say. At the initial stage, like the first day two people meet, wherever they met, something has attracted them to each other. That's attraction. They start from there, and it develops. It develops over time. When they go to cinema, go for lunch, go to parks, do certain things for each other, you begin to think, okay, can I tick this box for this person? It could take a month, it could take 2, it could take 3, it could take a year before love because when you fall in love, you start getting intimate. And you can't just throw yourself at someone. When I say intimate, I don't mean sex now. I mean, you can hold each other's hands. You can't just wake up one day, meet one person, and begin to hold hands. There must be a condition attached to the person you want to hold this.
And I think I understand what you're saying. Yeah. And if I go by what Reverend Ronke said, it's good to choose how to fall in love carefully, because that's why some people fall in love with the wrong person. So if you come to my life now and you're a gamist, right?
Yeah.
You know the right thing to say.
Mhm.
You know how to hold my hands,
Mhm.
to open the car door for me,
Exactly.
to serve. Oh, don't do anything. You warm it. Yeah, that's the word. Some
Mm.
people will warm themselves to the person's hand, and we've seen situations whereby some women fell in love with a killer, or some men fell in love with a killer.
Okay.
So I think one has to be careful when you're this so-called fall in love, because I realize that there's a lot of self and selfishness in this game called love. People
Mm.
go into it
Mm.
with a concept, with an
Certainly.
expect. If you
Mhm.
look at it, sorry to
Mhm.
say,
Mhm.
most reason that people are not getting married nowadays is because of this condition and
Oh yeah.
selfishness.
Yeah.
Everybody has a concept. I know what I want. I see
Mhm.
some of my singles when they're asking me to help them to look for husband and wife, the kind of list they're giving me. Would you say that is also they are falling in love
Mm.
with those things, not
Mm.
with the personality?
Mm.
So even if it's a blind man that comes
Mm.
and brings those things on the table,
Mhm.
they go for it, not the
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Today I watched a video. I
Yes.
can't. But this lady found a blind person online and they got married. And she said, a lot of people said, "Do you know what you are doing?" I said, "Yeah, that's what I want."
So it's the personality that she fell
It's
in
not.
love
It's
with
not.
him.
Probably it's
I
not
think it
even.
should be the personality.
No. Apart from when you say personality,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that are involved in personality. Or what do you mean by
Yeah,
personality?
the real you, for example, if I
Mm.
fall in love with the real you,
Yeah.
that is your nature, that is your character,
Mm-hmm.
everything about you. But if I fall in
Those
love
are
because
those not conditions. If you're looking for character,
it's
it
not
is. It
condition.
is.
Hold on. But if I fall in love with,
Yeah.
okay, he must be educated, he must have two houses, he must have two cars, one car, this and that and that.
Yeah.
Those are so immediately they present somebody to me and say, "Oh, look at this man, is just from Harvard," blah, without even trying to know. I just fall for his pedigree,
Mm.
without even trying to know whether he's a killer, whether he's going to take care of me,
Mm.
because that is what is happening now. I
Yeah.
said to you, people when I call them to match them up, they ask me some questions. They said I'm not interested. They are not even giving themselves chance to know this person. We try to judge the book by the cover. Now that is it.
That's exactly what we are saying the same thing in different ways.
Okay.
When you meet someone today
Mm-hmm.
who is a graduate,
Mm,
is a successful human being,
mm.
but there's something beyond all those things that you want.
Nowadays, people don't look at
That
that one. That's what I'm trying to say. People fall in love with those things. That's what I'm trying to say. You are old school. That's why we differ.
that
Nowadays,
yeah.
you are talking for yourself.
Mm.
You pray to God for a wife or
Mm.
this. So you are not even looking at this. You saw the qualities.
Mm.
The Bible talks about a virtual woman. We know the qualities.
Mhm.
So you want a virtuous woman.
Mm.
So you see this quality, you just like, oh, this is it.
Mm.
Irrespective of her flaws,
Mm.
irrespective of things that doesn't add up, you are
Mm.
now like, because you now love her, you
Mm.
now bring back what Turaya said.
Mm.
She said you go extra mile
Yeah.
because you're falling in love with.
Mm.
Do you understand what you wanted? So you are not
Mm.
looking. But nowadays,
Mm.
what we see is
Mm.
people have kind of a list of what they want. They don't even care about that
Mm.
personality. Forget about virtuous man or no, they
Virtuous
you
man.
have 10 cars.
Mm.
We will love you even if you are a cripple. Do you
You
understand?
must be fully loaded.
You must be loaded. I cannot come
Yeah.
and suffer. You must have this. You must have. So that's what I'm trying to say now. That it's because when you see a lot of single, they don't even what you're saying. Okay, I will fall in love with you if you take me to cinema.
Mm.
We see every day. You call me,
Mm.
but they are not even giving you chance for the love to.
Mm.
So how can you fall in love with? Let me take. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm going to read another called Truth is Motorayo. Truth is all.
Trust.
Trust is also a major factor before a woman for a
Mhm.
woman wants to trust you.
Mm.
I think men too wants to trust,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for a woman,
Yeah.
she's a woman. She's speaking from a woman's perspective.
No.
A woman wants security. She wants trust. She wants somebody reliable, someone dependable,
Mhm.
and everything.
Yeah.
But and above it is you must be able to trust that person. When we start doubting the man, you'll be like, I don't think I can trust this person with my life, with everything. So it's deep.
It
It is
It
deep
is. It is.
because we're talking about when
Mm.
we fall in love, because we are going to the next phase of how do we know we're falling in love, and then we'll try and see how we can sustain this love that we're falling in love, because love is just not one day. And
Yeah,
for me, one of
exactly.
the things I found out is the buzz and the butterfly of marriage and honeymoon goes, and you
Mm.
settle into living
The real thing.
together, the real thing. You start seeing each other's flaws, you start seeing your character start clashing or start aligning.
Yeah.
That is when the test of love really comes. Do I
Yeah.
really love this person?
Mhm.
And that's when you find out that there isn't much love from the start. That is my own, that's where I'm tending towards, because if there's that love from the start, then you should be able to endure and go through all those things, as long as it's not violence and all those things. But I think there's no love in the first instance. It could be infatuation,
Yeah.
and it could be because people have already set a list of what they want. The moment you see that thing, so we are falling in love with that thing, not with the person. Fall in love with you because you have a degree, you have a flashy car,
Mm.
you have a house in Banana Island, you're this and that. Why would I not love you? I love you. Before you love me, I've loved you. I'm just waiting for you to propose. In fact, if you don't propose, I'll buy my ring for you. Then you must marry me by fire, by force. That's what if I will go to pastor nowadays, there's a pastor. See, you know the prayer you've been praying for me on this God has answered. There's this brother that just joined that church. Honestly, he doesn't even know whether he's a ritualist. Hey, just pray for me, and that's it. The moment, so we are falling in love and is that really good? I think we should try to, because like what you're saying, that's why I say you're old school. You should try to know that person. That's what you are trying
Exactly.
to say. Go out to cinema, go to dates, call them over the phone. All these ones, they are old school. People don't have time for that one. They just want to see that this guy is loaded. Let's go. This babe has all it takes.
Uh,
You know? And like I always say nowadays, looking for soft landing.
yeah.
Everybody is looking for soft landing. Before, it's a woman that looks for soft landing. Now men are looking for soft landing.
Yeah.
They will tell you, does she have papers? She doesn't have. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. You are not even allowed. You have not even seen that person. I beg. I know. But two generation cannot be wretched. I
My
beg.
parents were
I'm ready. And I
cannot
carry this your
poverty go.
poverty away and leave us alone. It's good, and as children of God, on a more serious note, for us to, and because God is love,
Yeah.
and the Bible says whoever is of God, the love of God overtakes and conquers the world. So if you're of God, you will have love. Okay, there's a comment here. I'm gonna thank you, T.Y.
Right.
Opeyemi. She said, people don't fall in love for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There must be values that are of interest to you.
Yeah.
So there are conditions, particularly for Christians. One must be careful for eternal values,
Okay.
spiritual values,
Mm-hmm.
virtues, and some personal preferences. However, one must be careful not to elevate
Mm-hmm.
superficial values over values that are important. You don't love for nothing.
But most importantly, you don't love for nothing.
That one is.
God bless you, Sister
God bless you,
Opeyemi.
ma. Another thing is one of the things that we said that we are talking about, and this is more of condition.
I really don't
This
think
thing goes in and
I
out.
really don't think it's a condition. Let's look at it very well.
Okay.
You want to you make up your mind now. I want to settle down.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to settle down? Why do you want to get married?
Mm.
It's a condition. You don't want to get married for marrying's sake. There must be something that wants you to get married. And I'm not going to start detailing them because it depends on individuals.
Mm.
But like Sister Opeyemi said,
Mm.
you don't love for nothing. There must be something that's leading you to want to fall in love to the extent of getting married.
Yeah, we said it. Those are the characters, but
Mm.
the danger. I totally agree. I'm
Mm.
just trying to.
It's only, sorry, I think she said it well,
He said they were.
that you must be careful not to elevate superficial
Mm,
values
over
over values
the
that are
eternal
important.
values,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
your
But the
Christian
thing is, what
values.
is important to A is different from what is important to
Mm,
B. But
mm,
for as long as they are not superficial,
mm, mm.
then you are fine. But the truth of the matter is that you don't love for nothing.
So now going back to the you don't love for nothing. Oh my days, I'm
I've
learning.
asked you a question, you've not answered me.
Okay.
Someone wants to get married. Don't you think there is a reason for that person to love? Okay, let's leave marriage alone in the meantime. Falling in love.
Yeah,
Don't you think there is one reason for
it's
somebody
the
to
person
want?
doesn't want to be alone.
That's a condition.
Right. The Bible says it's not good
Because
for
it
man
means
to
that
be
person
alone.
must be available at all times. If
Mm.
that's the reason for the person to fall in love, it means the person he or she wants to fall in love with must be available for him or
Yeah,
her.
like this woman that I was
That's
speaking
that
to
is a
earlier
condition.
on, one of
Yeah.
the things she said is
Mm.
the reason why she didn't go for the person that was asking her out is the man doesn't care. The man doesn't care. So you can't say that's a condition. That those are her values. She needs somebody that cares for her. The man doesn't care if he doesn't call
Mm.
and she calls. Say, I've not heard from you. Say, don't you have the man will ask them, don't you have my number? Can't you call? She's gone to work.
Isn't that right?
What's wrong?
If you want to complain that I didn't call you, don't you have a phone?
He said, don't you have my number? Can't you call too?
Exactly.
How would a man say that to you in the courtship? And or a woman says to you, oh, I've not heard from you, I'm missing you. Say, be reading your Bible now.
Now you see why it takes women time
Mm.
to fall in love.
Yeah,
Now you
actually.
see reasons why
Mm.
you have to be careful to
Mm.
fall in love, because that woman wants somebody
True.
that will respond to her calls, will care so much to ask about how she is faring.
Mm.
But this person is not giving her. So it means
True. Because
she can't love him.
if I would say for myself as a woman,
Yeah.
when I was single,
Mm.
one of the things my nature of job and work or profession, be it by election or by ordination or by profession, by appointment or
or by
whatever,
nomination.
everything I do is kind of charity and fruiting into people's lives.
Yeah.
And then I give in so much of my time, emotions.
Mhm.
So it's difficult. And people just say, oh, she's here, she's up there, she's this and that, and they think you're tough. But I need somebody to look out for me. Somebody that I can depend on, that can run my ideas with, that we can rub minds, that we even say, Bele, welcome.
So you had a condition. You had an agenda.
Possibly I'm reasoning with what you are saying now. That I had my little agenda. And then, so, and you see this person and they're like, oh, you should be okay. Some men will say, I know you'll be all right. I know you're strong.
Mhm.
You may be strong for everybody, but somebody needs to be, you need to
Yeah.
rest you need to be able to go,
Mhm.
go home, get home, and somebody will say, how are you? How is your day? And whatever, somebody that you can rely on. And that is it. That is for me, that was it. I just needed somebody dependable. It's not about money, it's not about profession, it's not about career, it's not about anything. Somebody that has a fear of God and somebody that I know that I can really call, this is my home, that will look out. I know he's watching my back, both spiritually. And I remember when we were cutting, one of the things that I first did for a very long time that I never used to do over the phone when we are praying the night. We live far, far, far away from each other, like 2.5 hours. When we are praying the night before we sleep, I just realized I slept up over the phone. And this guy is always, what's happening? Hello, hello. Dolly, are you still there? Yeah, you slept up. And I said, for a very long time, I could relax because before, I'm so much kind of walked up, I'll do my prayer, cover everything. But for once, I just realized somebody is praying for me.
Yeah.
And when he's praying, I'll be like, before you know, he say, I can hear you snoring. In fact, he will say the grace and share the grace by himself. Hello, hello, hello. And a few times it was in the morning. Now, when we were speaking, I'm like, I'll see my phone beside me on the bed. I'm like, oh my God. And I'll call. He said, you slept? I said, really? I'm so sorry. So I said, and he was like, is that the way you sleep in true prayer? I said, you know what? that kind of relief for once
Yeah.
that somebody, is taking covers my back, and I know that this person is praying for me. Because we all can be vulnerable at any time. And but if you do, oh, she's a pastor, oh, she prays, hey, pray now. We. I'm just using my own example because that's what I do. Some people it could be their business they
So,
want.
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people it could be their family that are making. It could be spiritual, it could be physical.
Yeah.
So a woman always needs protection. She needs somebody that will reassure her to say, you know what, don't worry, I'm there for you, even if they don't have the answer. And I try to say this, and I'll say this for the sake of men that are listening to, when a woman speaks to you or she's pouring her heart to you about something, even if you do not have the answer to it, don't say I don't have an answer. I said tell people there are things you can say, you know what, that's a very good thing you're saying, good idea or whatever. You know what? Let me call you tomorrow. Do you know, let us speak about it tomorrow. Give me time to think about it than just capital no. Or I don't know. Don't ever say you don't know to a woman because she needs security. She wants you. The reason why I'm talking to you about it, I say it a lot to my husband. I get me angry. Sometimes when I say something, I say, I'm speaking to you, but he said, I'm thinking about it. Okay, if you tell me I'm thinking about it, even if you take 2 days to think about it, but if you tell me you don't know, what do you mean you don't know? You have to know, and they may not know, even us. So it's a very good way of saying it. So let's move on to what are the signs that somebody is in love. Thank you so much, everyone that's contributed. So, how do you know you are in love? Because I know we talk about singing love song, we talk about butterflies flying in our stomach, where you just want to hear that person's voice. And if they don't call you, you start throwing tantrums. You're angry that they've not called. I think when those things are there, it looks like you're in love already. You are in love already when those things are there. Or what do you think? We've tried to move on to
Mm.
signs of
Mm.
when you're in love. How do you really know that, okay, I love this person?
One of the signs is when you start taking the box and you think, yeah, this person. I know from the example you have given
Mm,
that guy, before you met him, you were always doing your normal prayer that
mm,
you share the grace yourself. Then when you met this person, and when you pray together, you were so confident, or you found him reliable
mhm,
enough
mhm,
that you don't have to spend an hour or so praying.
mhm.
Something in you is telling you that, okay, I can begin to trust this person.
Yeah, and even if I'm not praying, it's praying for me.
And if I'm not praying, it's praying for
Mhm,
me. You're already falling in love. Your spirit is connecting with that person. Or if, for instance, um, let me give your, if you're a student, for example,
mhm,
this person is, you've been finding it difficult to do your maths, you've been finding it difficult to answer some questions,
mhm,
and you found out that this person is knowledgeable enough to make things easier for you. When you were in school, things like that happened. That when you find your mate or somebody that has been trying to approach you, able to solve some of the problems, you begin to connect with the person naturally. And if there has been something going on between both of you in terms of love, you
mm,
begin to develop it down. Okay, this person, because he makes himself available to
mm,
solve this problem
mm,
for me,
mhm,
I think I can love him. I think I can love her. For
mm,
instance, some people like food. It's food that is their problem. They can't cook,
mm.
and they find a woman that
Don't you
occasionally.
think those kind of things get I don't agree to you. I just feel that's laziness. When somebody cannot cook and just waiting until
I just,
marriage before a
I'm
woman.
telling you, some people.
Mhm.
I've given about 3 examples
Yeah,
now. It depends on the individual.
yeah.
It depends. What I'm trying to say is, if in the other party you begin to see that this person can fill this gap for me,
Mm,
perhaps nobody else has filled it before.
yeah.
Probably like the example that you gave.
Mm.
If you find out that this gap, this person is filling it,
You
you
know
begin.
what I said? I have a family friend that
Mm,
no, I have a family actually
mm,
that he cannot cook.
yeah.
And anytime his wife travels,
Mm,
she will try and cook this, cook this. I was once in Nigeria, they live in Nigeria in their
mm,
house. And just on Sunday, we went to church. We were delayed. This guy was ranting over the phone.
Yeah.
Just that, where are you guys? The only thing he knows how to cook, even he wants that, was noodles. By the time we got home, his wife said he was such a, God bless him with such a wonderful cook.
Exactly. So whether you call it laziness or not, that is his
But
own
meanwhile,
needs.
he's proactive in every other thing, fends for the family, goes, he's a mover, makes things happen. But
So,
it's all crap with food.
so that's his own problem.
Like, why can't
That's
you
the
learn
that's
it?
the you can't find everything you want in a human being. If you see this man is proactive and is good in every
Oh,
other thing,
yes, good in
that is
every
the
other
only
thing.
gap, then
But food, and God bless him with his wife. And he was, where are you? I'm hungry. I'm like,
you'll be
get something.
surprised. You'll be surprised that was why he married her.
And then you know what? At some point,
Yeah.
he started complaining that she's getting too fat, that she shouldn't cook again. They will be eating outside. But the woman is a cook, home, 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 home. That was like, nah, we can't spend money outside. So I think they complement each other anyway.
So it boils down to the fact that our needs are different. What we
Mm,
look for in a partner
mm,
or someone we want to fall in love with
mm.
is different from one another. As soon as those needs are gradually being met.
So my question, you have
Mm,
not answered my question.
mm,
So what are the signs that what are the things that you have to look out for? For me now, if I fall in love with you,
mm.
yeah, how will I know I've fallen in love with you?
You start doing things you weren't doing before.
I think so.
Yeah. You start
Because a
doing
lot of
things.
people don't
Yeah.
don't know when they fall in love, but because you see, you start thinking about them.
Yeah.
If they don't call you, you are
Mhm,
angry.
mhm.
If you don't see them, you see them. To I remember in those days when we were young,
Yeah. Mm,
one will see each other to the corner of the street,
mm.
and then as you though we are not even sure whether that's love or infatuation. And as it's going there, you walk back together again, you walk back together, you don't want to leave yourself.
I remember someone you were talking to some time ago who said, I can't cook for any man.
Mm,
You'll be surprised if she falls in love, she will start cooking.
mm,
When she discovers that,
true.
is it me that is cooking? That's a
Mm,
sign of falling in love.
So it's about caring about their
Yeah,
happiness.
exactly.
Their
Exactly.
happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like spending money. I don't like going to the stores. I don't like doing this and that. And you suddenly find yourself doing
Mm.
things that you were not doing before.
True. It's like this lady that was saying to me that the reason why she left the man is
Mm,
because she feels they're in love, they have things going, but the man is not willing to. The man is kind of selfish,
yeah.
self-centered, thinking
Mhm.
about himself
Himself
alone.
alone.
He
Yeah.
doesn't want a woman. He doesn't want to
Mm,
live with a woman, and she's introduced him to all her family. She's so
mm,
excited about
mm,
him,
mm,
but she realized that's not there. So you know that one person loves,
mhm,
and because you want to know. If you say
mm,
you love me, now I want to know.
mm.
Have you told your parents about me? Have you
Exactly.
told your family
Exactly.
about me? Because you'll
Exactly.
be excited about that
When I
person.
start introducing you to my
Yeah.
friends, oh, it's a sign that this person is
Mm.
in love with me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then sometimes you skip a heartbeat when you are talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
You. I think it's just well, you can be on the phone for hours. You
Exactly.
just want to hear them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my! So when you fall in love, this some people have asked me,
Mm.
how do I know that I'm in love with him, or how do I know that I'm in love with her? These are the things that, apart from all those things, you just want to be around that person.
Yeah.
Even their weaknesses, you don't see
They
it.
don't say it. Yeah.
You don't see it. I remember somebody was asking me that, oh, you don't complain. I know there are some things that you may not like about me, but you're not saying, because I said love covers more. You don't see it because if you love that person, it's just like your baby. They'll pull on you. You don't see that thing because you love them. It's
Mm.
not as if that moment you won't feel the smell of you're like the love. That's why the Bible says love covers multitude of sin. So and then this aspect I want you to talk about, that the future comes up. If you love somebody,
Mm.
the future comes up a lot in your discussion. You start planning future.
Yeah.
So can you say you really love somebody and you want to settle down with them and you're not bringing out, you're not talking about your future?
You see, that's why I said it takes time to fall in love.
Mm,
All these issues you are raising are what are been thought of or
Mm.
considered or imagined within this 60 days that it takes a man to fall in love and 180 days that it takes a woman to fall in love.
Mm.
A lot of things are expected. If you are serious minded,
Mm.
I'm not talking about love as in just go out and date and forget about it. But if it's real love, genuine love,
Mm.
you will discuss anything and everything that
Mm.
has to do with the future. This is somebody you want to live the rest of your life with. It's not a
Mm.
gamble.
Mm.
It's not a gamble.
Mm.
And this is what we teach during marriage counseling.
Mm.
If you want to settle down with somebody,
Mm.
you must choose carefully. There are
Mm.
some basic things that must be in place.
Mm. That's true. That's
Mm,
true. You have to really be talk about the future.
exactly.
What how many children do we want?
Yeah.
Where are we going to live?
Yeah.
What is our plan? Are
Yeah.
we retiring early?
Yeah.
Are we relocating?
Yeah.
Because you can't say you love somebody. You find out that people love nowadays,
Mm.
but they don't want to hurt that person, so they don't talk about it.
It
Do you
will,
know that's
it
another
will
thing?
eventually.
Yeah, but that's one of the
Yeah.
things we have to talk about.
Mm.
I love you now,
Mm.
but I don't want you to feel angry. So
Mm.
there are some things that I need to ask you, but I won't say it. And then you leave it until you marry, and the person will be like, hang on, why didn't you say this? Do you know? Because it's out of that love. You know, this love thing has actually it's in two ways. Or some people over love to the extent that I don't want because if maybe he's going to change his mind. I don't want to upset him. I don't want to upset him. So
No,
there are
it's
some
love by
things
force, Abby.
I don't know. I think it's just I don't know, but it does happen.
But that's not love. That's pretense, isn't it?
Some people I don't know because years ago I spoke to a couple and I said
Mm.
after they got married and I knew they courted for like over a year.
Mm.
I said to them, I said,
Mm.
what did you spend?
Mm.
So it was after they got married, a disagreement
Mm.
arise over the number of children.
Mm.
One wanted to relocate, one said, I said, listen, did you guys not talk about this during your courtship? They said no. I said, please, what were you doing? That's 1 year that you were going inside each other's house, family, and what were you talking about?
Mm.
They said they were just showing love to each other. I said, that's stupid love.
Mm.
It's unrealistic love. It's part of maybe we have to one of these days we'll talk about the stages of relationship. As
Yeah.
when you're dating, courtship, the things you
Yeah.
have to talk about.
Mm.
Because if you love somebody, the future comes up often. So
Yeah.
where are we gonna live?
Yeah.
That shouldn't be you won't say because I don't want him to be angry or I don't want her to be angry. We agree to disagree. And those are things that Christian counseling is very good as well.
Yeah.
And we did it. You should go for Christian counseling. During counseling, a good counselor
Mm.
will ask you, so what's about your plan, finance? We are not you see, people run away from it. It is an immature counselor that will ask you nitty-gritty. The way we counsel is if, for example, it's finance now, it's okay. Have you guys discussed about your finance?
Yeah.
That's the question we'll ask you. They'll look at themselves most of the time. That's another thing people don't talk about.
Yeah.
I don't tell you what
And
I'm
quite
earning.
often they don't talk about
People don't
it.
talk about it. Everybody, and they're walking kind of on eggshell around it. And then you marry. You didn't tell me.
Mhm.
I didn't know. No.
Mhm.
And then so things like that.
They also don't talk about their priorities.
We don't talk about their
Sometimes
priorities.
they don't.
Yeah. They don't talk
Mm.
about it. That's what I'm
And-
trying to
and
say.
It becomes a problem.
It becomes and then
Yeah.
you're not able to
Mhm.
sustain
Yeah.
the love that you establish.
Exactly.
Because there are life issues that you cannot run away from, whether you like it or not. Things about the children, child or children you're going to have, career,
Yeah.
family,
Mhm.
where choice of home, where you want to, whether you are relocating, you're staying, who is moving, who is, you know, all these kind of things. You have to talk about it. Finance. So we ask things like, okay, let's talk about your finance now. Who are you both working? One can say I'm working. We are not interested in who is getting 10,000 or who is getting 5,000. Or the next question is, have you worked out how to run it? What kind of system are you using?
Yeah.
Is it joint account? Is it separate account? Then we'll give you advice. For us, this is what we do. Some people, this is what they do. You give and what does the Bible say? You talk around it. Then we leave you to go home. We're not asking you not
This is how you should do it.
nobody will tell you this is how you should do it. Nobody has that right to do. But if you come to us eventually and say, pastors, oh, you know what? we cannot agree on it. This is what he said, and we'll now go into the scripture and say, we think this is the best way for you, but even that we cannot force you to do it. So that's the way counseling goes. So don't run away from counseling. Some people run away from counseling because they think they're going to impose, and you want to do your thing. No, but he assists you. Some of those topics you are not confident of talking about. Counseling will highlight it.
Yeah.
And once he highlights it, then both of you, okay, we'll usually say, okay, we're giving you this week. Go and talk about it. Go and think about it and give us feedback. So when you come back next week, how did you go about it, your own work? Oh, we spoke. Has it been resolved? Yes.
Remember the last one we did?
Yeah.
One of the tasks that we gave them was, what does love mean to you?
To you.
What does love mean to you? They were looking at each
other.
They couldn't give any
Even
definition.
after a week, they didn't understand. They didn't understand, and they were about to be married.
They were about. You need to know what love means.
It means to you. You may disagree about it.
You may disagree.
Yeah, because
but at least there must be a meeting point.
There must be a meeting point
over any issue at all. There must be a meeting, or you must expose yourself to each other. It's not a question of tomorrow after marriage you now say, "Oh, you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that." You are aware, even if you are not happy about it. It is because you have chosen to go along with it.
That's it.
You have chosen to compromise.
That's it.
It's not that you did not hear.
That is it, and that is it. That's one of the things about marriage or relationship. You have to compromise.
Yeah.
You will now say, okay, I want a child. I want 2 children. No. Because of my medical record, I can only have 1. Or you have to compromise, and then you say, okay, so that before going to the marriage, no hidden agenda. Everybody knows where they are, because marriage, where you start living, the reason why people are. So let's now go to the reason why, because of time. Let's now go to the reason why people are unable to sustain their love in their marriage.
Yeah, like I always say, one of the reasons is hidden agenda, pretense. When you pretend to be who you are not. Like somebody didn't pretend that she's someone that is here and there.
For example,
I said somebody.
Okay, let it be somebody.
Somebody that
is Jabba.
Somebody that I'm not bold enough to mention her name for obvious reasons.
That
she did not pretend that she's Jabba. It's your choice.
You have to know that this is handful.
So it's not sustainable when things, just like we've been saying, for people that don't go for marriage counseling, it's not compulsory, it's not by force, but the truth of the matter is that a lot of things that you didn't think you had to know about each other, that you didn't think should be exposed to each other. Your counselor is an impartial person. He's going to do it, he or she is going to do it professionally, so that the areas that both of you worked on assumption.
And that's one of the things a lot of people go into marriage nowadays on assumption. I think but I thought that's the way he presented himself. That's the way she presented. I thought that you don't think. You don't think. Spend enough time.
Exactly.
Spend enough time with each other on the phone. On the phone, physical, understand each other. What? And you see, I remember there was somebody that 2 people were introduced to themselves, and then they spoke for like 3 weeks and decided to see. And then the first day, the guy, because when I was speaking to them after, I was like, what? The first day that the guy came visiting the girl, and they sat together, and the woman just said, they were talking about, they started planning their wedding, and she was like, you know what? I don't want to go to the registry.
Yeah.
And the guy just said, he just went cold. She said, why? She just said, yeah. And the guy went cold. That was the end of that relationship that day. Because he's not patient for and the woman had reasons, and he said, okay, if we marry, and then how would I say my status? Would I say I'm still single or whatever? You should try and find that people are coming from somewhere. And then the guy went, and the following day called and said, I've just been thinking about you because of what you said yesterday. I don't think, and these are ministers of God. And I'm like, this is pure immaturity. Even if you want to marry somebody, and she said, I don't want to have a child. Find out why. There's always a reason. And then you help that person in their journey. It could be because of fear. It's because of one thing or the other that's
Mhm.
happened to them, disappointment in their life. But because somebody just say, you know what, I don't want to marry. You just say she's a bad person. No, let's be mature.
Or I don't want a joint account.
I don't
For
want a joint
example,
account.
that's one of the main
I've
issues.
cancelled somebody
Yeah.
before,
I don't
and
want a joint account.
I
The
cancelled somebody.
person must be coming from
She
somewhere.
actually had a reason, and the reason was our sister
Mm.
had a joint account
Mm.
with her husband,
Mhm.
and then one day their own joint account, she cannot, none of them can touch, or the woman cannot touch anything. So one day she went for an appointment, and it was raining,
Mm.
and she wanted £5 to
Mm.
take a cab. She
Mm.
called her husband,
Mm.
and the man said, "No, you can't touch it."
Mm.
Nothing. And the woman was crying. So he had to call the sister. It was the sister's how the sister got to know. I counseled this when I was counseling the sister, because we got there. It was the first time it's men that doesn't even want this woman wanted, this man wanted joint account. And then the man is even well off. You know, if it's a
Mm.
man that is not well off and say, I want the joint account, you can say, see, maybe he wants my money. So it's just like the man is earning like 40 grand per annum, the woman is earning like 20. So you know that he doesn't need your money. It's just a man that's calculating and wants security. This woman said no. He was at the counseling, we trashed it. So they brought it. They said, Pastor, could you speak to her? She's insisted. I said, Sister, why? It's good. He said, no, because of security, because of that. She said,
Yeah.
fear.
Yeah.
So after that, we're able, I said, I'm not imposing it, but I gave them good reasons. If you know you have a good husband and you know he's planning for you, he said because of that, blah, blah, you know. So what we're trying to say is don't run from these things.
Yeah.
Discuss it.
Yeah.
Because these are the reasons why we don't sustain this love.
Relationship.
You just realize that I don't love him again.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate her.
Mm.
Why? Then you, like Reverend would say, agendas will start. And it's because you didn't discuss about that thing,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like we should strive to keep the fire
Mm.
when we fall in love.
Mm.
We're going to round up on the aspect of try to keep the fire burning.
Yeah.
I found out that when we live together
Mm.
with the hustle bustle of life,
Mm.
with children, with
Yeah.
career,
Mm.
all pressure. Some of us, especially we that were in the ministry, you don't have your own life. You wake up in the morning as early as 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 8 or whatever. Somebody is calling you. You've already given somebody time to counseling. That's how your day work and everything. Even some of us, or some of you online are professionals. You find out that you don't have a life after a while. So if you don't find time to keep the fire afresh in your love,
Mm.
it's easy for us to fall out of love.
Yeah. Especially when love develops into marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big issue
Mm.
because there are, like you said earlier, there are a lot of things that two people that were in love before
Mm.
will start discovering. No
Yeah.
matter the level of your conversation, no
Mm.
matter the level of your preparation or
Mm.
counseling or whatever, fresh things will come up.
No matter what.
Or the reality,
Maybe he's snoring.
or the reality,
Ah. Or farting.
or pattern. Yeah.
Or
No, we
farting.
won't talk about that one now.
Snoring or farting. Ah.
But
I'll
even
tell
those,
you.
even those issues that you have discussed during counseling,
Mm.
when the reality
Mm.
now is done on both of you,
Mm-hmm.
I think one of these days we have to talk about that movement from falling in love to getting married.
Okay, maybe we can talk about that next week or so if I remember.
One of these, one of
They're falling in love to get married. When the blues and the butterflies and disappear.
When you come back from honeymoon.
Honeymoon. And the first, I just saw a man that they got just married about 2 weeks ago. This afternoon, he ran into me and he was like, "Hey, Pastor." I greeted him. I said, "How is married life treating you?" He said, "So far, so good." I said, "No, let it not be so far, so good. It should be so long, so good. I don't want to hear." So as in, we are still taking it. You know, it's one of those things to keep the flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, love is good.
Love is good if you allow it
Love
to.
is good.
I remember somebody will always say, "Thank you for loving me," and I will say, "Thank you." You know yourself. I don't know. The person knows them. Say, "Thank you for loving me," and I'll say, "Thank you for allowing me to love you," because it takes two.
It takes two.
It takes two. If you love me, it's because that person has given you, And then same thing, it's not a saying. When he says oh, thank you for loving me, I say thank you for making me, and vice versa. Because if that person has not given you space in their life to love them.
Yeah.
But one of the things we want to say before we round up is, let's try and fan the flame of our love. Love can die.
Yeah.
Love can die because, like Reverend said, when you start living with yourself, you find out that a lot of things that you never thought of, like it's snoring, is I'm only joking, it's farting, or she's farting, or
eat too much,
eat less, workaholic, will not sleep. Somebody will say it's time for us to go and sleep, and another one will say give me a 1 hour, and then 1 hour will be 2 hours,
3 hours,
and the poor man will be on the sofa. But in my house, they know what to do. You will not even go. You say, oh, when you finish, I'm on the sofa with you. At the end of the day, that cup, the work addition, will be okay. Let's go. Reluctantly lock the laptop, because you'll be like, okay, I'll meet you upstairs. So try and do those things together. Go to bed together. Wake up. Do things together. Light pressure set in. And last week, like we said to people, we put on the candle light. We're just like so overwhelmed with work, and I said, you know what? And it was good. I said, listen, we run about trying to do everybody's life.
Yeah.
Let us do our life tonight. And it was good. It was refreshing. We just sat there in the living room. We watched a movie that we've not watched for a very long time. We were laughing. And then one of the things that we try to do, and we're trying to say to people, talk about each other. What will you say about talk about each other? Tell that person what you see in them, what you like in them,
and what you don't like.
Yeah, but when you are talking about each other, you shouldn't be talking about what you don't like. When you talk about what you don't like, you end up arguing throughout the night, and everybody will go and sleep. I think for me, I find that us time, let me talk. And some of us women, we are so shy. We don't want to say it, but there's no sin in saying, I find you very loving. I find you dependable. I find you reliable. Thank you for loving me. Let us express ourselves to our husband, and husbands to Nigerian men, because we're going in 1 minute.
That's unfair.
Nigerian men don't know how to express love. I'm a woman, sir, and I speak to a lot.
Speaking for Nigerian men now, we do.
Okay, I hear in your dreams. No, not all. Not all. No. Okay, with exception. No, yes. Beg your pardon. Well, I mean, so most Nigerian men, they say, okay, what is there? I love you. When you say I love you, say, what do you want? You kill the woman's spirit. It's as I'm saying, I love you, my darling, my boo boo. They have come. What do they want today? You want my wallet? You're killing it. Just respond. So it's good for us to sustain our love. That's why we discuss about when we fall in love. Let us be expressive. Nothing like saying to you, my darling, you know what? This night is for us. Hold each other's hand, look at each other's eyes, and say, I love you. I love you. Go for dates, go for dinner, the two of you, eat out occasionally, go for a walk, just laugh about life and make life easy for ourselves. It's very worth it, because the reason why we came together is not to be lonely. And then when we are married and living lonely, it's not very good, So thank you so much, everyone. I think Reverend should round up and then we go.
Beyond that, in summary of all we have been saying, it is good to love. Love is good.
And it's of God.
Love is beautiful.
You have to give yourself. That's my own definition. When you are talking about what is love, I said, for God so loved the world that He gave. He gave. You see, there's a condition attached to it. You can't say you love somebody and you're not giving something. He gave His only, because you have to give your time. You have to give your life. You have to share your body, share your money, share your resources, share your time with that person. Your skills, everything. You have to just be you. So it's a selfish person.
Love is good. Love is beautiful. I'm telling you, love is beautiful. Love someone. Make yourself available for someone to love you.
What's that thing doing? Can. You have to buy you toy.
I think I know.
I think you need a toy so that you can play with toy, because I can see that your pen has become your toy now.
I'm telling you, time up.
I think I didn't know.
Of course I do.
All right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, everyone. We appreciate everyone online. Reverend Kelnok. You see, I'm used to my work laptop is touch screen. So I've forgotten this is not touch screen. So I was going to scroll down with my hands, but let me do this manually. So, Sister Moturayo Ajadi and I think Sister Tiwa Okpayemi. The Lord bless you for staying tuned with us. To all those that's going to watch this after now, we love you. We appreciate. Keep praying for us. We're praying for you as well. But love is good. Love is good. We all get busy after love, after the sparkle of honeymoon. We settle into life, and then love can have a lot of challenge. But when we were intentional to say there's no plan B, you aren't going nowhere. She's not going nowhere, and then we put effort in it. Put on the candle like we did last year. Light, go and buy candle, turn off the lights, watch a movie, relax, and do some little of romance. Some people said they were going to ask me how I did my practical. Thank God they are not online tonight. I have some sisters and some sisters online, but thank God all of them. God has a way of rescuing me. God, Sister Kike Diamond, thank God you came late. God bless you, the celebrant. So happy birthday to you, happy for the head. May you continue to go. It's people like you, I'm happy we're not online. People that wanted to ask me, ask me how I did the practical of last week. So no practical, we've done theory tonight. The Lord bless you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a wonderful night. We thank you. We love you. We'll see you by the grace of God next week, Wednesday. But if you have any topic, and somebody said we should talk about, I forgot the topic for, I think it's Takike for sorry, please remind me. For children under 25. I think she said we should quickly, yeah, please, quickly, just 1 second. Is it you? I think one of this show that we're doing, I think well, I saw it was you later, but I've forgotten that we should do something about the under 25. The youths, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yes, bless you, ma. Let's talk about it next week. The youths.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it because there are a lot of youths that really want some shaping here and there. The Lord bless you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
God bless
Good night. We'll see you next week. Love you all. Thank you, ma. Okay, most of our children are grown as single.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We will talk to them. All right. Bless you. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Instagram and YouTube. Bless you.
Bye.
Bye bye.